Self-control. When you hear that phrase, what comes to mind? Probably an image of someone gritting their teeth, forcing themselves to do something difficult, pushing through the pain, resisting that piece of cake, saying no to the snooze button. That's the popular story. Self-control as a constant, brutal fight against our own impulses. But that story misses the entire point. It's not just wrong, it's the very reason so many of us feel like we're failing at it. Think about it. If self-control was simply about resisting temptation, the most disciplined people among us would be perpetually exhausted. Their entire lives would be one long internal battle. But when you look at people who are highly consistent, that's not what you see. They don't seem to be wrestling with themselves all day. In fact, they rarely seem to be using sheer willpower at all. So what's their secret? What does self-control actually mean? In psychology, the definition is surprisingly different. Self-control isn't defined as strength. It's defined as regulation, the ability to manage your behavior over time to serve your long-term goals. And that doesn't require constant heroic effort. It requires fewer conflicts. You see, real self-control isn't about winning an endless series of battles against yourself. It's about strategically avoiding those battles in the first place. And the research backs this up with a clear pattern. Scientists studying people with high self-control found something fascinating. These individuals don't exert more effort than the rest of us. They actually experience less temptation, not because they are fundamentally different people, but because they have skillfully designed their environments and their routines to reduce friction. They don't waste energy constantly deciding whether to go to the gym or whether to eat a healthy meal. Their behavior is already pointed in the direction they want to go. They don't negotiate with themselves. This explains one of the most common mistakes we make. When we struggle to stick with something, we assume we need more self-control. We try to find more willpower, more grit. But in reality, what we probably need are fewer decision points. We need more rules, more structure, more predictability in our lives. Because self-control is a resource that fails most often when we ask it to show up too frequently. We're asking one part of our brain to constantly fight another, and that's a losing game. Truly effective self-control works quietly, in the background. It shows up as a routine instead of a daily choice, a default setting instead of a conscious decision, a system instead of raw effort. The person who lays out their gym clothes the night before isn't just planning ahead, they're removing a future point of conflict. The writer who unplugs the Wi-Fi before they start isn't just avoiding distraction, they're designing a space where willpower isn't necessary. The goal is not to become stronger. The goal is to make strength unnecessary. And that is why, from the outside, true discipline often looks completely effortless. Because ultimately, self-control isn't about force. It's about alignment. When your daily behaviors, your physical environment, and your personal systems all point in the same direction, the need for that constant grinding effort just fades away. And once you truly understand that, discipline stops feeling like a constant struggle. That's what self-control actually means.